welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna do part 2 of what happened on Before the 90 Days, Season 7, Episode 17. But before we get into any of that nonsense, I am so excited to be partnering with Balesa for this video. We are doing a giveaway for you all where everyone who enters will either win a free toy or a huge discount. More on that later, but for now, let's get right into the recap. Let's check in with Vanya and Josko. It's time for date number 2 with Josko, and it's safe to say that Vanya is smitten as a kitten.
I had my first date with Josko 2 days ago, and I have been walking on air ever since.
She really wanted Josko to spend the night and rock her world, but after missing the train to Pound Town for the past 6 years, she really wants to wait a few more days before putting out so that she doesn't come off super desperate for that good Croatian dicking.
Who knows, this could be the end of the cobweb situation. Let's see.
So she meets up with a half-naked Josko in a rooftop hot tub.
What a great idea to get me half naked again.
Hey.
Vanya whets his appetite a little with her half-naked body, and the two just bask in each other's sexiness.
Can't imagine there was a guy in your history that didn't like to kiss.
Initially, Josko was worried that Vanya was just looking for a rebound since he's looking for something serious, but they've been texting a whole bunch since their first date, and he feels like there is a real potential for something much bigger. Vanya tells him that her only lover for the past 6 years has been made out of silicone and has way too many vibration patterns. If you know, you know. And all I'm thinking is she clearly is not using any toys from Balesa. And that brings me to today's sponsor, a brand that I have used and loved from way before I even started this channel. I am talking about Balesa, and you, my Panda Pals, deserve nothing but the best, which is why Balesa and I have partnered up to send everyone, and I mean everyone, who signs up either a free toy or a massive discount. Balesa is a bi-woman company that is changing the game in sexual wellness by empowering everyone to explore and celebrate in their sexuality unapologetically. They focus on what we want, what we need, and let's be honest, what we deserve. Let me whet your appetite just a little bit. And yes, we are about to get very close, very fast, so buckle up, cuties. Here are my top 3 faves that I always reach for in my little side drawer of sin. Taking bronze is this little beauty, the Pebble, ergonomically built to fit perfectly, and I mean perfectly, into your hands. You can control the suction and the vibration independently, which means you can have one, you can have the other, or if you really want to go crazy and have a great time, you can have both. Taking silver is this adorable cutie, Thump. She can do everything the Pebble can do and more. Not only does it vibrate and suction, it also does this crazy thing where it sends palpitations to your kitty clitty and turns you into a pleasure-wielding sorceress. And taking the gold is Flutter Vibe, and this thing is just, mwah, it is chef's kiss. This one is a multitasker. Not only does it vibrate, but it also simulates a human tongue going absolutely ham on your happy bean. And that is not all. It also vibrates straight into your G-spot. And yes, I can confirm, it does exist. I know I don't have to keep going because everything I've already said is amazing enough, but it does get better. All of these are made out of silicone, which means that they are non-porous, they are body safe, and they are silky smooth. Plus, they are 100% waterproof and hella easy to clean. The ones that I talked about today, they all come with their own carrying case, which also doubles as a charging case. So make sure to check out my giveaway link in the description box below because everyone will either win a free toy or a huge discount off of toys. And thank you so much to Balesa for partnering with me and for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get right back to the recap. So yeah, Vanya says she's only been intimate with her battery-operated boyfriend for the past 6 years, and Josko is like, stop lying! You are gorgeous! Men all around you must dream of dicking you down.
Sex is like the biggest gift you can give another person. It's not something that I want to do just with anybody.
She tells him she can only do it with someone that she feels a major connection with, and then she's like, well, you know what? I'm getting a little pruny. What do you say we go back to my apartment and hang out?
I'm getting a little wrinkly. Should we go back?
I think that's a splendid idea.
I think so too.
And boy, did they hang out.
Ooh.
I think it's bedtime.
I think so too.
No, I'm serious. All they did was hang out.
I did not have sex with him last night.
Vanya tells us that she decided not to get freaky because she's going back to the US soon and she really doesn't want to get in too deep with him.
I feel like I was holding back so that I don't end up hurt again.
Josko over here is not disappointed at all that they did not bang because they had such a great night getting to know each other and connecting. But he is worried about what Vanya thinks about his son and whether she is going to actually accept him or not.
But I think we need to talk about it. She's willing to accept my kid, and I hope everything works out between us.
The two go on a hike so Vanya can see the sights of Croatia and Josko can see the sights of her ass.
That's the eyesight for my sore eyes.
What is?
Your bum.
The two sit down and talk about the potential for a future together, and Josko is like, what do you think about me having a son? And Vanya tells him that she thinks it's amazing that he chose to foster a child, but she would be lying if she said it didn't scare her. So Vanya's ex-husband had a daughter, and Vanya essentially raised her and watched her grow up for 5 years, and so when that marriage dissolved, she no longer had a relationship with her.
The fact that I could no longer see her just broke me. I really loved that little girl. She was my little princess.
Josko then tells her that he thinks she is the one. And Vanya is like super shocked that she may have found someone to match her pace.
You're the one.
What are you talking about?
That's serious. I want you in my life.
Josko is like, my gut has never led me astray. And then he jokes and he's like, can you imagine what it's gonna be like on our 6th date? And Vanya is like, LOL, maybe we'll just get married then. Now, I can't help but be skeptical that Josko is like magically checking all of the boxes, doing and saying all of the right things. Cause like, what are the chances that she finds the perfect guy for her one day after the fiasco that was Bojo? But hey, what do I know? Maybe she's really just that lucky. Maybe she's right. Bojo was just the North Star to get her to Croatia so that she could meet the love of her life. Vanya is overwhelmed because she's super happy, but she's like, how can Bojo be so sure about me? Like, she knows she's all that, but she also doesn't think she's all that, you know?
What is he seeing me that I don't see in myself? Maybe he's seeing something that he wishes he sees.
It's Vanya's last night in Croatia, and Josko tells her that he would love to figure out a way to visit her in Orlando. And Vanya is over the moon that Josko is literally doing and saying all of the right things. Girlie did learn from the failures with Bojo, and she asks Josko how they're going to be defining their relationship. Like, are they friends? Are they dating?
What is it that we're doing? Are you my boyfriend?
Yeah.
Josko says that he's never had a positive experience when it comes to long-distance relationships, but he has a feeling that this time it's gonna be different. So they head back to her place, and now that she can call him her boyfriend for real, Vanya is looking real ready to quench her thirst for that D.
The chastity belt could potentially come off a little bit easier.
Let's check in with Adnan and Tigerlily. It's their last night in Turkey, and Tigerlily tells us that the two have been banging like crazy, trying to put a baby in her, but she's in her early 40s, so she's really nervous that her baby-making window has closed. She tells him that she knows he wants a big family with a ton of kids, but what happens if they can't conceive? And Adnan is like, I mean, I can have multiple wives, so don't worry, one of them will be able to pop out a kid.
I will kill you. How would you like to die, honey?
So, Adnan was joking, which was not clear to me.
Of course, I will not do it because I want you.
If you're gonna say something like that, you have to end it with like an LOL JKJK. You have to put like the verbal equivalent of a laughing emoji, okay? Adnan tells Tigerlily that before his father passed, he married his mom, and then he actually got married to another woman without her permission, which eventually led to her divorcing him. Then Adnan goes on to say that his father having multiple wives was actually terrible for him as a child because no one was really present to take care of him, and he had to watch his mother be super sad because his father was way too busy attending to all of his other wives.
Thankfully, Adnan says that he just wants me, he doesn't want other wives.
But she is also aware that his little baby brain is still developing, so he could change his mind anytime.
With Adnan being 22, it does worry me that what he wants could change over time.
Tigerlily goes back to Texas, and 2 weeks later, she's feeling a little bit of tummy pain, so she goes ahead and takes a pregnancy test.
It's positive. I am pregnant, and Adnan Joe's gonna be a father.
Let's check in with Magda and Joe. Today is a big day. Joe is finally meeting Magda's mom. The two pick up some flowers and desserts and are heading out to take her to dinner. Now, Joe is really feeling the pressure to make a good impression because he wants Magda to believe how committed he is, and having her mom on his side would be a huge help. He's off thinking that he's trying to make a good first impression, but he's actually trying to do damage control. Because remember, Magda's mother thinks that Joe is just a dirty, dirty cheater. Joe doesn't know this, so he's going into this dinner nervous, but pretty confident.
I feel like she would definitely like me. I feel like parents just generally like me. I don't know why.
They pick up her mother, and I'm honestly a little surprised that Joe not only got out of the car to greet her, but he also offered her the front seat. And then when they get to the restaurant, he pulls out her chair. Like, I do feel kind of bad that I was not expecting that kind of behavior from Joe, but I'm really happy that he did that. I think that's impressive. They finally sit down for dinner, and things get super awkward super fast because no one says anything for an eternity. Joe over here has no idea how to gauge how well he's doing, so he pulls out a translation app to tell Magda's mother, "Thank you for joining us for dinner," and Magda's mother is like cold, but in a polite way.
Bardzo za spotkanie ze mną I kolację.
I do think Magda should have made Joe aware that she told her mom that he's a dirty, dirty cheater, because I feel like Joe should have known going into this that he's not starting at 0. He is trying to work his way back up to 0.
Maybe it's just the language barrier, but I'm not getting the warmest vibes.
Her mom is like, "What do you think of Magda?" And Joe is like, "Oh, you know, she's beautiful, she's strong, and I know if I mess up, she is going to eviscerate me off the face of this earth." And then her mom is like, "Listen, I know that you cheated, and I'm still mad about it."
I told her we slept with another girl.
Why would you tell her that?
Joe is like, "I don't know why she would tell her mother that if she wants her mother to like me."
It definitely puts me at
A disadvantage. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to win her over after that.
Joe has Magda tell her mom that he loves her and he would never dream of hurting her again. And her mom is like, "Okay, well, what if you just get bored of her?" And he's like, "I won't. I could never. I mean, you probably won't get bored of her, but like, there's a real chance that you will get tired of her."
I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't want to eventually marry her and start a family with her one day.
Her mother really loves that answer, and the entire mood turns around. They start laughing and joking, and her mother tells us Joe made a really good impression, and only time will tell if he is as kind-hearted and wonderful as he seems. Magda takes Joey to play volleyball with some strangers, and he is very bad.
Why would I get it? It just went to you.
To me!
Oh.
To me!
After the strangers dip, because they're not really playing volleyball, they're just watching Joey flail around, Magda and Joey hang back, they bounce the ball back and forth to each other, and Joey is like, "Do you play with dudes a lot?" And Magda's like, "Yeah, it's super fun to just crush the crap out of them." And Joe is like, "Well, don't they just try to hit on you?" And Magda is like, "Yeah, have you seen me?"
Have they ever hit on you and tried dating you?
Of course!
Who wouldn't?
Everyone won't date me, babe!
She says that she doesn't play with a lot of dudes anymore because a lot of them are really good friends with her exes, and she never wants to see her exes ever again, especially because she firmly believes that you should not be friends with your exes.
So you don't think people can remain friends if you dated?
Always will be some problem.
Obviously, this is not great news for Joe because he can no longer hide behind the excuse that he does not need to tell her about Jill because he doesn't think it's important, because she just said it's very important.
I realized it is something that I do need to tell her about. Oof, I don't think she's gonna be too thrilled by it.
And that, my Panda Pals, is all I have for you today. I hope you like this one. If you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know down in the comments below what you thought. I hope to see you for the next one. And as always, thanks for not letting me ride this train wreck alone. Bye!